On a controversial piece of legislation in Uttar Pradesh, and the very same government that brought this legislation in has now told the Allahabad High Court that there is no evidence of unlawful conversion against a 32-year-old Muslim man, one of the first to be booked under the UP's controversial new law. Nadeem and his brother Salman were named in a complaint filed last year in western Uttar Pradesh's Muzaffarnagar by Akshay Kumar Tyagi, who works in a prominent pharmaceutical company as a labor contractor. Akshay said that Nadeem, who's a laborer, used to frequent his house in Muzaffarnagar and had trapped his wife. Now, the government says and tells the Allahabad High Court that there is no such case made out of love jihad. Alok Pandey now joins us live with more details. Alok, can you take us through what exactly the UP government said in court? Because I mean, everybody knows that this is a legislation brought in by the UP government. I mean, this flies in the face of all that they're trying to say, that they're trying to fix something which is wrong. Now, by their own admission in court, there's nothing wrong.
Well, and this is not the only case. I'll talk about another case in Moradabad where a similar thing has happened. But first of all, about this case, Sanket, it's very interesting. This man, Nadeem, was one of the first people, as you pointed out, to be booked under UP's new hate law, as we call it, or under their unlawful conversion law, as the government calls it. The allegation you pointed out against him was made by the husband of a married Hindu woman who said that he was trying to quote-unquote seduce her. And one of the ways that he did it was to actually gift her a mobile phone. I mean, that was the allegation in the FIR. I am sure, and this is my assessment, that had the courts not intervened in this matter, Mr. Nadeem would have been, going around different police stations till eternity. But what has happened here is that last month, Nadeem petitioned the Allahabad High Court asking for a quashing of this FIR. Last month, the Allahabad High Court stayed his arrest. It said that there could not be any coercive action against Nadeem and his brother, who is also named in the FIR, and said that till the next date of hearing, which was today, those orders would continue. And it was a very strong order at that point of time in December 2020. I'll go into it later. Yesterday, the Allahabad High Court filed an affidavit before the government of Uttar Pradesh filed an affidavit before the Allahabad High Court related to this case. Now, I'll read from the affidavit. This is a 6-page affidavit. It's been filed by Avdesh Pandey, who's a Joint Director Prosecution in the Allahabad High Court, on behalf of the UP government. Now, it says very clearly that the investigating officer has found it is not a case of the UP Prohibition of Unlawful Conversion of Religion Ordinance or Act 2020. There is no evidence found that the accused Nadeem is having an illicit relation with Parul, who's the wife of the complainant, nor any evidence has come forward that he tried to change the religion of this woman. Now, this is recorded in written in the affidavit. That affidavit is now before court. The court has posted the matter for the 15th of January, but I think the significant aspect, as you were pointing out, is the fact that while there has been this rush from UP and its government to bring in an ordinance that many have called problematic, some have called it a hate law, and police forces in various districts have lost no time to please their political masters by going ahead and booking these cases. In at least 2 instances now, there have been scenarios where no evidence has been found. In this case, where the man perhaps must have lived in a lot of trauma for the last month or so because he was booked under this stringent new law, the only evidence against him that the police claims is for criminal intimidation, where he allegedly threatened the complainant, but that is again a matter of the court and trial, etc., etc. Then if you remember, in Moradabad, there was a case where a young Muslim man and a woman, a Hindu woman, were accosted by right-wing goons, taken to a police station, heckled there, and then the young man was arrested. He spent 2 weeks in jail before the police went to a court and said, we have no evidence against him. It was very difficult to see his reunion with his aged parents and his wife. And there's a third case in Bijnor where a young boy is in jail after he was walking back with a Hindu girl from a birthday party, and they were caught hold of by some villagers, taken to a police station where this case ended up being registered under this new law. The police have even filed a charge sheet there under stringent sections of the law, but the catch is that the mother and the daughter have both denied that this was a case of any kind of conversion on camera. So this is what is happening in the state, and you have to look at this in that context. The fact that here is a man who was booked under this must have gone through unimaginable trauma, and now the government is going before a court and saying we have no evidence against the person.
That's right. Alok Pandey, many thanks for getting us all the latest details, all the details, in fact, about this controversial law and what has come of it. And later, in about an hour from now, we'll also be putting this through a debate on what you think about this new controversial law that the government itself is now unconvinced and has admitted in court that in more cases than one, nothing is made out.